This 30-second intro has a pulsing synth heavy energy start with shimmering pads and a pulsing, giving a feeling of forward movement, add subtles to mimic the rise of AI and layer lush, sweeping synth chords to beat creativity and innovation. Use a punch-in electronic kick and snare to keep it driving, with hints of reverb for atmosphere, close with a cascading fade of melodies to depict the limitless possibilities of blockchain and design merging with AI.
Hi everyone, how are you? I am Ivan Picasso and it's a big pleasure open this section with interviews with many friends, good friends and really good people and really good builders. Since I remember I did many interviews in my life. I really love doing interviews, and most when you find special people behind this interview, because it's not just questions or just who you are or whatever. It's, I think, having a personal interview with someone that are real doing something for some that matter to us, and it's DeFi and community. So today we have here my sister CryptoQueen from ShibArmy. She did a lot of good things for a lot of us, for many projects, and to me it's a real honor open this section with her. So 5 seconds and with us, CryptoQueen with us.
I'm excited to finally meet you in person, or I guess through the screen. We've
One
had so many conversations.
1 second, because it's my first interview. Sorry, we have a little technical problem, but we are here. How are you, sister?
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to finally get to see you in person. I know we've had so many conversations and
Yeah.
through DMs and through Telegram, different projects we've worked on together, but this is the first time actually seeing you. So nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, it's an honor to me because you know we are friends since many years ago on Shib
Right.
ecosystem, doing awesome things, and we don't stop to build beyond the blockchain, beyond the ecosystem, beyond the Shib ecosystem, but always remain with the same vision, with this energy of the Shib armies that we have and we share. So first of all, I need we need to know who you are, what you are doing, who is Crypto Queen, and why you are here today. Not in this space here on all Cryptosphere, please.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and thanks for being here, everybody. I'm glad that you tuned in to check out this first interview in the series. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. I'm actually it's such a difference from my in real life what I do as a career, but I'm a physical therapist by profession, and I've been doing that for I guess about 25 years now. Not to so too much of my age, but it is something that I really love and I'm committed to. I still do. I work several days a week. It just depends on what the needs are at the facility I work at. But on the other hand, in Web3, I'm just supporting women in the space, through several different roles that I have. I guess the first one on the list would be Shibwomen, and it's a group that came together as part of the Shib Army. We had a National Women's Day space about 3 years ago, and we were talking about just how to support women, how to onboard women, how to get more women into crypto. And someone in the audience said, "Why don't we have a Discord just for women?" And so we looked around, like, who's going to set this up for us? And I guess it came down to us
Yeah.
that we would set it up. And so it was really exciting to be able to put together a Discord that was just, solely women, and we could just have those personal connections, and we can, onboard in a slow, just a different way than your typical onboard experience in the regular blockchain. And so that's been a lot of fun. Like I said, we've been trying to grow that for 3 years through our social media, different ways that we've championed just women's initiatives in the space. We've put on, different spaces. I do a weekly space right now with another group I'm with, and it's called Ladies Night Out. And we just have a really good time talking about different things that pertain to women. But yeah, so that is, my primary focus is Shib Women and growing that set, I guess, that part of the ecosystem, and just bringing those ladies on chain and helping them learn blockchain. I really love to teach. I love to mentor, and I love to find ladies out there who want to be mentors, and
Yeah.
that's something that's really hard to find.
Yeah. When you love be mentor, because I'm musical teacher, I love mentorize people. Really, I love. When you love do this, it's amazing when you see beyond today and you see your own steps on that people doing the things that you imagine on the next years, right? So I
Right.
need a personal question to you, and it's important to me too. Why sheep? Why Shiba? Why you feel this sensation about Shiba? Why you are Shiba Army?
Yeah, probably the same reason you are. We stumbled across it, years ago, back into 2021. I was looking for, a community to become part of. I had kind of onboarded through Doge and was looking for, the next opportunity and the next community that I could be a part of, and found Shib just through the memes. As we all are looking for those funny gifs and memes in the space. And I know that's what a lot of what you do through your artwork, and me as well. And so I said, I'm going to find a community that has the best memes because they probably have the most fun. And sure enough, I found Shib. And, it was a little while later that I actually read Ryoshi's vision, and that's where it all kind of cemented in place for me that, this is a project that I want to be part of. I just really thought about that fish vendor, and how we need to expand to all the corners of the earth. We need to onboard as many people as possible so that we can be that currency of exchange. And just the decentralized community building was exciting for me, just to be this big experiment in, can we put this community together that has no leaders, but it's just the strength of this huge army that can come together to push cryptocurrency. And so I just kind of fell in love with it then, and I've continued to become, part of different groups within the Shib Army. And there's so much you can get involved in and do
Yeah,
do things with. And so, yeah,
yeah.
that's really what led me to it.
I see a special bright in your eyes when you name sheep. When you talk about sheep, I can see this, and I see this special bright in many people. But here in life with you and in YouTube, it's so close. When we talk about Shiba, when we talk about Shiba Army or community or home, it's special to us. It means a lot because I think throughout the years we built in parallel way beyond sheep many good things, and that things today represent us as builders and people in another chains as us on base, as you in many good projects and many good friends. But that bright in your eyes, it's so special and it's so motivating to see this bright, because I think, and it's not nothing new, we need this bright in the eyes of the people today. It's
Right.
important when we talk about Shiba. when we talk about ShibArmy and community, we need this bright. So yeah, congrats. I want to start the interview because this is uh, feel free. Um, for us, for as the Syrian, it's important the inclusivity of everything, not everyone, everything. So let's talk about inclusivity. Um, I think the cryptosphere world needs inclusivity for its expansion. Okay, we're not just talking about women. Okay, within this world, living important moments like you, but about greater inclusivity that accompanies people with limited resources, people with disabilities, and opening the blockchain to all. My short
Right.
question is how we can achieve, or how do achieve this inclusivity?
Yeah, that's a great question, and something that I've really put a lot of thought into over the years. When I first decided to start Shibwomen, we had a lot of opposition, I guess, within the Shib Army. It was new, something new. ETH women is not something that you heard of. Every time you clicked on X, it was all kind of new, and the one thought out there was that we needed to be the same. Everyone needed to be the same, learn together, and mesh together. And that is the case for some. Some women are very outspoken. They have access to resources. They're tech savvy. They can jump on these things easy and not feel uncomfortable asking questions in a mixed space. But then there are some that aren't. And
Mm-hmm.
there's some that don't have access to a wallet. They're not allowed access to their financial resources of the family. And there's some in, terrible situations that need a way to get out of that, to be able to empower themselves to, start over if that's what they need to do, or to, just grow their family wealth or their security. And so, just reaching out and finding those women has been the most challenging thing. And then to just dispel that rumor that all women
Yeah.
need the same thing to onboard, because it's really not true. Everybody needs to onboard in their own
Yeah.
way. And I think by onboarding other women, you have that immediate sense of trust in that, okay, this is another woman who's helping me, who's holding my hand and guiding me along the way. And I think sometimes women can be a little less risk averse.
Yeah.
We're a little bit
Yeah.
more careful sometimes in our finances. We're not
Yeah.
so quick to degen. And I say that, and not everyone is the same. There are some
Yeah.
true female degens out there, because I've been known to do that on occasion. But just finding the ladies and giving them access to these resources by whatever means. One organization I've learned from and have helped pass on to some SHIB women are the Black Women Blockchain Council. And, this is a group that provides funding, provides grants to education on the blockchain. I did
Mm-hmm.
a 12-week course through the Black Women Blockchain Council and got those tools that I needed to feel equipped and prepared to be able to, onboard and share information and help be a mentor for other women.
Mm-hmm.
Another group I'm with, the Crypto Chicks. It's an NFT collection from 21. Their mission is empowering women and seeing the beauty in every woman. And one thing we've done is open up a scholarship through the Black Women Blockchain Council and
Yeah.
offered a scholarship to a lady out there who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford education.
Yeah.
And so, we have ladies in our group that, we've provided mentorship through, who are in rural India, don't have access to a lot of the technology that you would see in the Western world. But, through the group, through Crypto Chicks, they've become empowered, and they've gained that education, and they're even hosting like one-on-one sessions in their own
Yeah.
communities to help everybody learn blockchain. And so it's been really cool to see that you can find ways to reach out to just about everybody, but I still think we have more work to do.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Hearing you, it's honestly, it's so motivated because I can feel your energy when you share your ideas and your experience on about what is necessary here on DeFi. Inclusion on DeFi goes beyond gender and includes socioeconomic, geographical, and technological barriers, as you say. So, what are the main challenges preventing marginalized groups for accessing DeFi? And what do you think are the solutions or advocacy initiatives are you promoting to make DeFi a truly global and equitable financial system?
Yeah, I think just access to resources is the main thing. Access to technology, whether it's through grants or, funding for their programs if they have startups. I think we're still seeing, a lot of challenges faced in the blockchain space by, you know, uh, less funding for startups for women in
Mhm.
particular. And so, finding access to those resources, that financial support that they need to grow their own programs in their own countries, is really helpful to be able to reach those folks. Because if you don't have access to social media, to Twitter, how are they going to find us? So sometimes it is those boots on the
Yeah,
ground. I have a,
yeah,
a really good friend I work with in the space. She's also in the crypto chicks with me, Gabby. I'm not sure if you are familiar with her, but she
I
um
I think I think I
she
know him. Yeah,
yeah, she's part of the Shiba Sequoia Forest as well, and she does do one-on-one sessions in her own city, and we did Shiba Fest last year, which was a lot of fun, and we actually went around and asked people, "Have you heard about blockchain? Have you heard about crypto?" And everybody just kind of looked at us like we were crazy. What is
yeah,
crypto? And so we'd finally say Bitcoin, and then sometimes they would, a spark would light up, and they'd say, "Oh yeah, I've heard about Bitcoin." But as far as like how to open up a wallet, what is
yeah,
blockchain technology? There's so much education we still need to do in this space. So I think just having those boots on the ground is really, really helpful.
yeah. You know, I'm student from Milkshake. Today I miss
Oh,
her a lot,
oh,
a lot, a lot, and I miss her a lot.
me
Her
too.
conversations about community, about inclusivity, about schools, about education, about an expansion. Because when we talk, and I remember that conversations, Shiba is the last thing. Shiba is everything but the last thing because it's all about community, as she said many, many times. And to me, you know me, I have on my own team two women, okay, Amber and Shelby.
Right. Or
Amber,
Amber. Yes,
yeah,
they are so wonderful.
to me it's important this kind of inclusivity on crypto projects and woman vision, as you said, it's important on crypto sphere. The last years I need, if we was have much women on that crypto sphere, maybe things can be different. Okay, that point of
Yeah.
vision, your point of vision, it's that we need, not Dejan vision. But yeah, you remember me when we talk with Milkshake, that vision, that's a strong vision, and I really appreciate that words because it's special to me.
Yes,
Um,
she just had such a kindness. I miss her every day. Yeah, she just was such a voice of reason and a kindness to everybody. When it started getting a little crazy out there,
yeah,
as it sometimes does in crypto, she was always the one to say, "Hey, let's treat each other as we would want to be treated. Let's do the right thing." And yeah, I
yeah.
miss her every day. We
Oh,
definitely need more of that.
I remember the milkshake mediums. I remember the milkshake Twitter, day by day, supporting friends, supporting all the projects, having a time for everyone. If you want to talk with Milkshake, she always was having this time for you to talk, to listen to you, what you are doing, what is your idea, how I can help you.
Right.
And I can
Yeah,
see
just
this vision on you, on many many women on cryptosphere, and I think she did something special because um she sparked that sparkle
mhm.
on many many people. So it's amazing. Another question, returning on women, the rise of women lead DeFi projects, it's transforming perceptions and priorities on the crypto sector. Okay, could you share examples of inspiring women as Milkshake lead initiatives on DeFi and explain how they drive innovation or address ecosystem shortcomings?
Yeah, so many mentors in the space and so many women that I admire. But I'll just talk about a couple that you've already spoken about because they are definitely some mentors for me. But Amber Crypto has been, she's just a hard worker. She is
Yeah.
a grinder. I've seen her tackle adversity and come out on the other side and just, continue to build. And it didn't let her, it didn't keep her down. She's just continued to just stand up for other women. She's been such a great support to me personally, and I see her with you guys on your project, just thriving and growing, and I'm just so proud of her. And
Yeah.
Amber, she's just a wonderful person, and Shelby as well. I mean, I met her through Zach and through Spaces, and in the early days of Shibwomen, and she has just been such a wonderful support as well. We've worked together as she was working with the women on base. We've had Spaces together, and she's just she's smart, she's talented, accomplished, and she's just going to go so far. And together they are a powerhouse
Yeah.
couple, her and Zach. So I
Yeah.
just love your team. You have an amazing
It's
team. You should be super
special.
proud.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
again, it's so special to me have Amber on our team as co-founder. She was the first ones of the Thesirion community when we launched on Shibarium. She understands so well our vision because we have the narrative beyond the blockchain, the blocks, the Thesirion as builder, but our goddess in our narrative, it's called it Nana. Nana is the goddess of the moon.
Mhm.
What is milkshake if not the moon? Sailor Moon,
Right.
all the narrative. When I built Thesirion, I was built thinking on milkshake. It's not a secret.
Hmm.
It's on the narrative. I share this many times because we as creative agency, we want the same speech of milkshake. Build for everyone, make DeFi a better world, more inclusive world for everyone, without fights. I have healthy competence between the projects, being
Right.
friendly projects, because this space belongs to us. It's not
Yep.
just one blockchain, it's not another blockchain, it's not one or two projects, not become top leader projects. Everything matters on blockchain. If you compares the blockchain sphere, all the blockchains with the universe, you can see if you do zoom in, you can see the quantum physics, a chaos day by day, blah 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 blah. It's a real chaos. But if you do zoom out, you can see the universe expanding slowly but growing day by day. This metaphor helped to me to teach the others what is DeFi and what you can see day by day. The chaos of the cryptosphere day by day because it's a real chaos, and in cryptosphere everything can change in 1 second, in 2 minutes, okay? But if we do zoom out and contemplate all the blockchain sphere, the vision becomes reality. The milkshake vision and that vision that you are talking becomes a reality. And to me, always say do zoom out, do zoom out, do zoom out. It's about everything, not about your project, not about just an idea.
Right.
It's about everything, because we are so close on DeFi. You know.
Yeah, and it's so everybody has their own skill set that they bring to their projects and to their communities, and just it's so much more a beautiful thing when you can grow together and you can combine those skill sets. And in Web3, it's just the beauty of being able to reach out and help somebody. Like I might ask you, how do you get this gift to look right, or help me with marketing for my project, and you bring your special talents, I bring my special talents, and together it's just the most beautiful combination where otherwise we're struggling, we're having to learn it from
Mhm.
scratch. And so, that's one thing that I found in Web3 is just so much easier to work together, and you just, like I said, you have a better product at the
Mhm.
end. And so I think we all um, definitely need to have a little more milkshake in our life, and to just get back to the basics of
Yeah.
what community building was all about, and this
Well,
decentralized experiment that we're all a part of.
my last interview with Neil Harbison, Milkshake was there, and Neil Harbison said to us on live, "Hey, hacks to Milkshake." he's big fan of Shiba. He's Shiba holder, but he knows who is Milkshake. So it's amazing because it's a big connection to everything, and wow, wow, wow! I having a special moment here. Um, Women are not only participating but leading in crypto communities, as you said, driving advocacy and innovation. What do you predict for the future of women's involvement in these communities, and how can Crypto Queen inspire the next generation of female crypto leaders?
I think, by being mentors is the best way that we can do that because, once you have a grasp of it, and thinking back on my early days in blockchain, it was all so just hard to understand. When I first came into crypto, I came from the stock market. I was trading during COVID just, for something to do. I was a little bored and decided to, to try my hand at that. And so I had some friends who were trading stocks and then they were trading crypto and they said, hey, why don't you buy some crypto? And I was like, oh, okay, how do I do that? Where do I do that? And so I ended up buying. They said, well, just throw a dart at the top 10. You can't go wrong. Just buy something. And so I hope this is a funny story, but I ended up buying XRP because it had a cool name, and I bought. I think I bought USDT and thinking it was actually going to go to the moon, and it's a stable coin. I mean, that's how little information I had about the blockchain.
Wow.
And so, just to have somebody there to actually walk you through those steps would have been so helpful, and I would have saved so much money, and I would have had so much less heartache and the scams that I was, that was a victim to over the years. And just to have somebody sit me down and say, hey, this is a wallet, hey, this is security, this is how you need to store your seed phrase. This is who you need to trust and don't trust. Don't open any links. Just things like that. I think we can help women, guide them along the way. And
Mhm.
by being mentors, most importantly, and when I joined the space, I asked a couple. Let you remember Scorcha was a mod in ShibArmy Discord, and she was a good friend of mine. And I asked her if she would be my mentor, and she said, I really am not sure what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to mentor anybody else. And so, I thought about that a lot over the years, and I felt that way myself. Just do I have that? Am I equipped to help bring somebody who maybe needs a little extra attention or doesn't understand anything about technology, much less blockchain? And I've, thought you just need to just get in there, roll up your sleeves and figure it out because, somebody needs help and they need a way to get on the blockchain. And so, just really finding those formal mentors. If someone asks me, will you be my mentor? Yes. How can I show up for you? How can I help you along your way? And,
Yeah.
just really check on them every so often, making sure you're having those open communications. And one thing I really like to do is help women grow in spaces. Um, I look around when I first got into spaces and I was terrified to speak up, just because it's such a tech crowd. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I came from the medical field. What do I know about tech or blockchain? And so it probably took me 6 or 9 months before I actually said the first word in spaces. I listened, day and night, just kind of a lurker in the audience. And thought, oh, what if I ask a question and sound silly, or they make fun of me, or maybe somebody says something derogatory toward me. And so finally, I got the courage to ask that first question. And so that's what I want to see. I want to look around me in spaces and see more women on the speaker panel because now it is better now. I do see more
Mhm.
than I did when I first started, but I want to see a whole speaker panel worth of women just sharing what they know and feeling confident to present that information.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's one way I really think we could grow in the space.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Let's talk about tools because I know you love tools and AI, and you are doing
Yeah.
many things with AI as we are doing on Thesirion. AI, it's transforming in massive industries, including the cryptosphere. Okay, by improving analytics, safety, and user interaction. Okay, how can AI be leveraged to empower women in crypto, especially on DeFi? Have you explored any AI driven initiatives that support women lead projects on communities?
Yes, I can't say specifically. I think with the crypto chicks, we're really trying to embrace AI in our social media aspects to, automate some of those more tasks that we typically,
Mm.
will pile up, to put those posts out, to be able to proofread posts and to make them, more engaging to the audience.
Mm.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't use Grok or ChatGPT to proofread some of my tweets, just to make sure that they have the most impact and will appeal to the, majority of people out there. But yeah, I think AI art has come a long way. It's, still has some, definitely still has some opportunities to improve, but I've seen so many cool things. And, women who aren't artists or don't have the time to do art by hand, that have, really developed a rapport, I guess, or a portfolio in the space of art just through the help of AI. And so that's been really cool to see. I've seen some really neat bots out there that help automate. There's trading bots, there's raid bots, there's so many different bots. And I think we've just scratched the surface of what AI is
Yeah.
going to be in the future. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited about all that it's doing.
I'm so excited with AI. So excited. I'm designer, and when AI become hype couple years ago with a image or blah blah blah, Mid Journey or Leonardo or
Right.
I remember many friends of mine, designers, saying this tool can kill our work. This tool it's dangerous. This tool is blah 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 blah. Today, AI is helping me more than I can imagine. And I continuous being designer, opening Photoshop, drawing with my pens day by day, day by day. But AI is an important tool for everything, I think. And we are I think, in this um, little mountain of the iceberg, because AI it's going to be spectacular. I don't know what is the words to define AI in the next steps, because AI it's continuous learning. But I must remember to everyone, AI is just a tool from
Right.
us. AI it's just our own intelligence in one tool. If AI want to kill the world, it's because someone want to kill the world. If AI is doing that stuff,
Right.
it's because we did or we are doing. So it's just a tool, but that tool is amazing. And I think for the next steps, in the next months, can become very, very, very important for many, many things, not just for the bots, not just for developments, no code applications. We are using AI, for provide to a group of neurologists and psychologists a tool for people with Alzheimer. Okay,
Mhm.
so with that tool, it's like an Echo Bot or Alexa, programming with the synthesized voices of familiars of that people. That tool with exercises from the neurologists and psychologists can do a conductual routine day by day and train the mind. And that tool can learn from the patient and provide more data to specialists and use this data to make it bigger, this routine, okay, for the cognitive conscience with that people. AI is
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
I love that idea. I want to pick your brain further about that off camera, just exactly how you guys are using it, because that's, one thing I do in my daily life is work with patients with dementia and Alzheimer's. And, just the safety awareness aspect of it, I think could be huge. Just reminding, the patients to take their medicine, reminding them to, lock their wheelchair before they stand up, to just the comfort of having that familiar voice there when they're, one of their biggest issues is they're just lonely. They need somebody to talk to. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I would love to see exactly how you guys are using that. It's so
It's
interesting to
special, and
me.
I want to share more from that tool, but it not depend on me. It depend on the neurologists and psychologists. But when we talk about, because many people ask why that people need that tool, not familiars can help that people. You must remember 90% of the time the familiars are working, are doing his own tasks, and that people in the 90% of the time are alone. Okay, many
Mhm.
people are alone in the houses or in the centers, and this is just a tool. It's not the solution. It's just a tool. But if we build tools thinking on the next years and thinking on this inclusivity for everyone with blockchain, with AI, I think we have more easy way to have more inclusivity world. It's not an utopia. It's not a utopia. Okay, I'm a believer, I'm a dreamer, but I think we can make it possible. So my last question, creating DeFi platforms accessible to users with visual or hearing impairments require intentional design. What specific features, so a screen reader support, haptic feedback, or multilingual audio guides, do you think DeFi developers should prioritize to make platforms more inclusive?
I think just to begin with, anything that makes it easier to use. I mean, I think we're not going to get full adoption until the blockchain is as easy to use as, opening up your Walmart app and doing a delivery. You got to really, you make it so that they don't even realize that they're in Web3 to make it that easy. And so anything that can be developed, whether it's a DApp um, or any kind of new technology to be able to help us onboard easily, without having to have a complicated, 12-word seed phrase that you have to hide. Just making it easy. And as far as technology, just going back to your last question a little bit, so many Alzheimer's patients could be in their home if it were just for a little bit of queuing, some safety. And so I definitely can see some AI,
Yeah.
involved around that in the medical world, from the robotics done in, used in surgery to, nurses at home to medical coding and even physical therapy. I definitely can see we have some robotics within our field that is, helping people learn to walk again. Spinal cord injured patients that otherwise would never be able to walk, and through the help of AI and these robotic exoskeletons are able to, stand up at their wedding, and, different things that are
Yeah.
just, it's just so cool to
Yeah.
see. And with Neuralink coming, I'm ready to see what Neuralink can
It's a
accomplish. So
Yeah, it's AI, and it's. I think for people with like you or me, like love AI and developments, talk about AI and what AI can do. It's special. I remember the last week an article on National Geographic talking about AI. The AI has discovered the Saguara labyrinth. Under the pyramid of Saguara, it's the Black Pyramid. It's on ruins, okay? And ancient books talk about Great Labyrinth on Saguara, okay? But nobody knows where is this labyrinth. And AI,
right.
using a radar system, found a big labyrinth. It's like a city under the sun of Sawara on Egypt. And
Crazy.
when you understand what is doing the AI and what AI can show to us about ourselves, or ancient civilizations and future and present, oh God, what a kind of tools we can build. If you have an idea, as we said on Thesirion, do it. Make this idea a reality. Maybe today it's not possible because technology can do it, but maybe in the next steps, if your idea have a project, have a community, maybe this idea can be a reality. So it's AI. Um, DeFi tools continue to have a user experience, as you said, that makes access difficult. As we say, promoting inclusivity, it's not just about attracting people on Cryptosphere, okay, but also make it easier for them to participate in DeFi. Many DeFi platforms are criticized for their complex interfaces, as you said, and a long learning curves, okay, of education, with can deter new users. Um, about the next steps, can DeFi ecosystem take to develop more intuitive solutions? What is your favorite? take one solution, okay, for make these complex platforms with more inclusivity to everyone. One thing. What do you choose?
I think just I think interconnectivity, to have those, we have so many different blockchains, so many L1s, so many L2s, and sometimes they don't talk to each other. And so having tools that can, make this a seamless interaction between blockchains, I think that's going to be really important because, I don't know how, if you can keep up with the technology, but I sure can't. When I first came in, I pretty much knew what every blockchain was or what it did, what the symbol was for it. And now there's thousands and thousands, and even every day there's so many that come out that it's impossible. So, to have people less incentivized, or builders less incentivized for, building things that are going to bring in the revenue, but actually make them interconnected so that we
Connect.
can, access those a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. And I think it's the most important because even to us, that we are experts on blockchain and doing transferences or interconnecting with another blockchains, continues be difficult do maybe a single transference. You know what I mean? We need to check several times what we are doing if we need to send to another blockchain or blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god, another time, and I did this million times, but I need to be sure that what we are doing right now, because first safety first, on that transactions on that everything. I can lose my money, and I did many times. I remember one time
Yes.
teaching my son how he can use MetaMask, okay, and teaching him, I sent 20 fucking dollars on a token contract account myself, and I, what the, oh no
Oh
no
my
no no
gosh.
no, yeah. So
It's so embarrassing to talk about the stories that have you gotten scammed, because you're like, now to look back at it, it's like, how was I so dumb? How did I do that? But
yeah,
at the time, it just takes one instance of being distracted, or,
yeah,
just not paying close attention, or trusting somebody that you thought you could trust.
yeah.
And yeah, I get scammed. It's
But
crazy.
you know, when I see the grandma of my wife taking her phone, I see her phone with a big screen, big numbers, and nothing more. She don't need to know because she have dementia. She don't need to know how the phone works by inside. It's just a big screen, easy buttons to connect to everything. And I think this
Right.
is what we need on blockchain. An easy tool that can connect everything without people don't understand how blockchain works or how it's working the cross chain between another chains and another. See, one transaction sending or receiving another transaction. It's step four in you. What is happening? Yeah,
Yes, it's too much.
yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Sometimes it's too much. And yeah, I think you have all the reason. If we want to have this mass adoption that we imagine in 2021 on ShibArmy, this kind of mass adoption, every corner around the world, we need to continuously build more inclusivity tools with more easy user interfaces, and think not for investors, think for I think for everyone, and people who don't have any idea about blockchain is. So
Yeah, because if you
um
think about just walking your parents through their phone, having to use, trying to figure out something on their phone is difficult sometimes, and it takes, all of your patience just to make it through teaching them how to, text message. So thinking about onboarding them to blockchain is almost overwhelming. So yeah, making it easy is going to be super important
yeah.
and safe.
Yeah, easy and safe. Most important. We're close to finish the interview. Okay. Um, I want to close this interview talking more in transcendence vision. Okay, so DeFi to me it's more than a financial tool. Okay, everyone knows, to me DeFi it's not decentralized finances. It means a lot, a lot. It means community. It means tools. Means I think everything. So it's a movement toward decentralization and empowerment. As Crypto Queen, what is your transcendental vision for the future and DeFi? And how do you hope it will transform life and societies on a deeper philosophical level? Yo.
Yeah, that's a good question. I see, in the future that we have these, huge communities where all the walls are broken down, and blockchain is our way of, communicating with each other to have those seamless transactions that are trustless. And, we don't need to rely on any central figures. We don't need to worry about, what time the banks are going to be open. You can do it any day. You can, any time of day. You can make sure that, it's done just in an instant. The settlement is instantaneous. And, we bring people together. We bring people all over the world together through this, whether it's, the metaverses. Hopefully, we'll get to the point where the metaverse is a reality, and we
Yeah.
can just, interact. We can travel in that way. We can, share hamburgers together in the metaverse, and have our, delivered to our door, and be able to, pay for that through the blockchain. I just see so many uses for it in the future. And I think we're just at like the when the internet was developed, like what a time to be alive we're in right now. Just to see this growth and to be a part of it is something that I've always just been, I guess when I step back, I'm like, wow, this is really my life. And even though, it comes with its challenges of, difficult communities, and sometimes we can't all get along, but it's still, at the end of the day, this is the future. I think AI and blockchain technology is going to take us into the future together. And going back to Ryoshi's vision, which is just something that guides me every day. um, just uh, all together, not asking what can be done for us, but just all diving in there together, and just really getting involved, whether it's sending out social media posts to help advance the blockchain, or actually taking someone by the hand and guiding them along through their blockchain journey. I think just not asking, but just getting in there and doing it.
Yeah.
Just like Raya, she told us to do.
Wow. Um, to me, I don't know how we can say in English because my English it's so short, but it mattered to me be here today. It really mattered to me. No, beyond the dramas, beyond the scams, beyond the rags, beyond all the sheets that we can see day by day on Cryptosphere, because it's a reality. This is not today a safe world for everyone. We must
Right.
be safe in all that steps, in all that you do on blockchain. But to me, it's important today be here and represent not just me, represent, I think, not just the communities. I think this philosophical vision about a better world. Because I think you are like me, you don't need nothing. You have your work, you have your presence, your talent, and you can do yourself beyond the blockchain. But you are here today, like me, seeing what is happening day by day there, and you are with a smile. And it's motivating when you see people like you today on Cryptosphere. Because we need people like you. We need people with your vision, your ideas, or your empathy about
Yeah.
other world. So, million thanks for being here today. It's amazing, and to me, it's an honor have you here on the space. And I don't know what more can I say. Million thanks. I really love you, and you have another.
Oh, you as well.
Yeah, you have another words to close this space.
Well, just if I could say anything, just, continue to be kind to each other, I think, and, good people, that's what we need more of in the space. Really honest, good, true people who, stick to their word and, practice kindness every day. So just, good people win in the end. And, that's one thing that I live by is that, keep doing what you're doing, keep building, keep, speaking up when you see things
Yeah.
in the space that are not right, and let's just continue to build together and grow this big community experiment that we've started.
Yeah, and community first. Million thanks for being here. It's an honor to us as ShibArmy, as builders, as you, and hope you are having a good time with us with this first interview on Thesirion YouTube channel.
Yes,
And nothing more. Be a blog and see you here and there in that space. Okay.
definitely. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. Good luck to you with your future interviews and everything that's going on with this Thesirion. So,
Million thanks.
yeah,
Million thanks. So bye bye. Million thanks to all the viewers, to all the followers. She is CryptoQueen, one of the most representative female voices on cryptospheres. And see you in the next interview. Bye bye and be a block.
bye bye.
Bye bye.